Here we go. Started with number 7 here. We have an arithmetic sequence. We do not know our D again, so that's got to be the first thing we do. So we use, just like we said in the last couple problems on how to find D. So this one, the values are actually going down, if you notice. So just something to think about. You know your D value is going to be negative. So 20 minus 180. All over 22 minus 6. We got ourselves a negative 160 divided by 16. So that would be negative 10. All right, so the values are going down by 10 every time. We do need our first term in order to write our nth term or find the 240th term. Okay, so to find the first term, again, we are going to use our nth term formula. I hope you have that memorized by now. And that would be, just pick the 180, pick the 20, whatever you'd want. But if I establish this as 180, I'm still looking for my first term. Plus, the 6 is the end value, so that would be a 5 in here. 6 minus 1 is 5, and then times my negative 10. All right, well, what that says is negative 50, 180. So we have to add 50 actually to both sides to solve this. And we get 230. All right, so that's the first term. So now we roll into the nth term formula. So the nth term formula would be the first term, which we now know is 230 plus n minus 1 stays the same for the nth term formula. And then times d, which is our negative 10. I like to simplify this. I'd love for you guys to do that. So the nth term is equal to 230 plus a negative 10n plus 10. So we've got ourselves nth term formula equals 240 minus 10n. So that's the nth term. All right, first thing they asked for was the nth term. Now the 240th term. So let me switch colors here. And that means just plug it in. So we got a sub 240 equals 240 minus 2, got ahead of myself there, minus 10 times 240. So you got yourselves 240 minus 2400, right? So basically you're going to have a negative number, which by the way makes sense. If you look up here, we're going down by 10 every single time. All right, so take away 200, we'd be at negative 220, so 40 more. So negative 2,260. Make sure I did that right. That would be 23, 21. No, 22. No, I'm good. No, I'm not. That'd be a 1. I'm sorry. Right there, 2160, obviously. All right, so that'd be 22, 24. Yeah, we're good there. Sorry, I got lost in my calculation, but that would be the answer right there. Okay, so going up to number 8 here, switching gears, we got our geometric one. Okay, so geometric, same kind of concept, but the R value at the beginning of the problem is a little bit different. So remember, doing this again, we start at the 8. We start here, and we multiply actually 5 times. Here's the 9, here's the 14. So I have to do 8 times r to the 5th power, and then I'm eventually going to get 1/4. So when I divide both sides by 8, if you don't understand that, just keep rewatching that and try to hear my words on it. You start at a value and you multiply by something every single time, same thing, and you're going to do that 5 times. And then you're going to get whatever the term is on the right, the term value. Okay, so r to the 5th here is actually equal to 1 over 4 times 8 is 32. So then we're going to take the 5th root of that. Hard to show here, but I will get an r value of 1 over 2. All right, so now that I got my r value of 1/2, they're asking for, once again, the nth term formula. So I'm going to go to red here, and I'm going to find, just like I did over here, but different formula, I'm going to find my first term before I find my nth term formula. So I got r raised to the n minus 1. So that's my formula. I'm going to use this 8 here by using the 8 I have just established, that n value, to say 9. So now I have equals my first term times my r, which is 1/2, raised to the 9. Remember, 9 minus 1, which is an 8 right there. Okay, so 8 is equal to my first term times, what is 2 to the 8th power? Well, let us verify and make sure I do that correctly here. I want to make sure this is in the screen. I think it is now. So just to show you how you do this, whoops, calculator page. Looks like this is, hold on. Okay, so I go to 1/2. So I'm trying to here, folks. I'm sorry. Thank you for bearing with me here. All right, and then 1/2 is going to be raised to, where were we at here? I can't even remember. Oh, the 8th power. All right, so we got ourselves 1 over 256 for here. So that would be 1 over 256. And then we would multiply both sides by 256 to get that first term. So the first term is going to be equal to 256 times 8. All right, so 2048. So that's the first term. All right, that's great. That's fantastic, but that's not even what they asked for. So switching to blue here, the nth term formula, the nth term would be equal to the first term, which is 2048. And then we'd have 1/2 for our r value and raised to the n minus 1. Oh, I can't go off the page. So there, n minus 1. That says n minus 1. All right, so that's my blue nth term formula. And then they're asking me to find the 25th term. This ought to be fun. So a sub 25 then would be 2048. And before you even do this, I hope you're thinking about what the value should come out to. We have an r value of 1/2. The 14th term is already 1 to the 4th. So this is going to come out to something that's not very big. Actually, pretty small. So 1/2 raised to the n minus 1, which would be 24. So now if I go to my handy dandy calculator, I already have the 2048, the first term. So I'm just going to multiply that by the fraction 1. How does it do that every time? That's so weird. 1 down 2, and I'm gonna see if when I raise it, it does do just that. That's nice. Raised to the 24th. Just make sure you're always looking at your Inspire that it's doing what you wanted it to do. So when I hit enter, I got myself the 25th term. So a sub 25 is equal to 1 over, does that say 8192 or 5192? I'm having a hard time seeing. Let me see if I can make this bigger at 8192. All right, so that helps you hopefully with those two problems. Okay, so now moving along here, this should go, I think, a little bit faster here. Now we're adding them up, okay? So adding them up means I need to turn to my summation formulas, and most of you have been doing the first of the two for the arithmetic ones. I think it flies pretty quick when you have the information we have here. So n divided by 2, using that formula, would be equal to 2 times my first term, which was 230. And then I'm going to add to that n minus 1, so that would be 19 since our n value is 20 here. And then we multiply that by d, which we did find was negative 10. Now you can fire that all in one step on your calculator. You can go ahead and do it in 2 steps, 3 steps, but make sure you're entering that in the correct way when you do that. So I'm going to kind of do it in progression here. So I'm going to take negative 190. I got that on the back end, and I'm going to add 460 to that because that's 2 times 230, and I got 270, and I'm just going to multiply that by 10, which I don't have to do on a calculator because 20 divided by 2 is 10. So that's going to be 2,700. Okay, so that one's coming out to 2,700. This one here, a little bit different formula because it's geometric sequence. So basically what we're going to do is take s sub 9, and then we say to ourselves, all right, how's this formula work? Well, it actually starts with the first term. Okay, so what I'm using now is the the summation formula, where you have the first term, and then you have 1 minus r to the nth all over 1 minus r, like so. Okay, so we need the first term on this, which we have for 2048. Then we have 1 minus, my r value was 1/2. And then just be careful, it's not n minus 1, it's just n. Some of the others are. So that's 9, and then 1 minus 1/2 on the bottom. Okay, will not lie to you. We have this fancy calculator, so you can put it all in literally one step. So 2048, and then we can multiply that by, and you can throw in a fraction. You can even you know, throw in the parentheses on the top if you want to. Just make sure, there it is again, jumping, that's so weird. Throw it in as 1 minus, and then the kicker is you do have to have the parentheses around the 1/2. All right, it's not going to make a huge impact when you have a positive r value, but when you have a negative r value, that's going to make a big difference. Okay, so 1/2, and then that's raised to the 9th power. And then when we go down here, I'm just going to put 1/2 because I just don't see the need to type in too much. We all know that. We all know, hopefully I can get here. We all know that 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Alright, so we got that. We got enter, and then 4088 is what that comes out to for our answer to that problem, which we're excited about. Alright, let's see how many more I got here for being able to. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video here because the next part I really want to talk about, and I don't want this video to be too long because then it gets to be too hard to upload. So hang tight.